After equipping Allen with a variety of sensors in his shoes and on his wrist, he's ready for our first test. The test we call load to arrival measures the load from hand separation to release to arrival, the velocity of the ball.
LTA, load to arrival. The only metric with arm talent that matters anymore, it's not arm strength, it's not the quickness of release, it's the combination of them both. So we test the load of the ball. The load of the ball is what the defense can break on. That's when your left hand for a right-handed quarterback comes off the ball. So that's when the clock starts. It ends the second it hits the target. We can measure arm strength, but also with the combination of release time, load to arrival.
On average, Allen's throwing motion takes only 38 hundredths of a second, on par with Tom Brady. The sensors on his wrist measure fingertip speed, which is an accurate indicator of ball speed. And the sensors indicate that for these throws, Allen's fingertips averaged more than 74 miles per hour. Easily the fastest launch velocity we've ever recorded.
Wow.
Next up, movement pass. The movement pass test gauges a quarterback's ability to throw on the run. After a shotgun snap and three-step drop, simulated pressure forces the quarterback into the pocket. Additional pressure forces him to spin out of the pocket, then deliver a long, accurate pass downfield. To execute this difficult throw for almost 2/3 of his throwing motion, 25 hundredths of a second, Allen's right foot is on the turf. This enables him to draw maximum energy from the ground through his body with kinetic linking, and he releases the pass at the same time his foot leaves the ground. This technique helps Allen still fire the awkward pass at up to 58 miles per hour. We've put you through a bunch of tests. Now, you ready to have some fun?
Absolutely.
This is our Soul and Science Shootout. The Soul and Science Shootout is simple. Hit an 8-foot-high crossbar located 35 yards away. Seems easy enough, but it's harder than it looks. Each quarterback only gets one chance to hit it.
Can you nail it? Let's see what you got. Oh, we got it! Oh, yeah!
Let's go, baby!
Boom!
Woo!
Central Valley in the house right there.
559, baby.
We gotta be able to tempo the ball, obviously change speeds at the next level. So we test firm with an arc. So you take a 7-step drop from center. You got an 8-foot barrier that's 10 yards out there. You gotta get it up and down over it. Have enough speed on the ball so it's down to your receiver before the safeties can close on it. Got it?
Gotcha.
All right, rip it.
With an arm angle at 66 degrees, Rosen launches the ball on average at 44 miles per hour from a release point almost 8 feet above the turf. More than 10 feet in front of the barrier, the pass reaches its apex of 13 feet. That's higher than any player has touched in the history of the NBA. On its descent, the ball clears the wall by an average of more than a foot and hits the receiver in just over a second.
Dang, that is sick. Nice stuff.
Next, we analyzed his release and velocity. From the moment Rosen takes his left hand off the ball, the load to release averages 41 hundredths of a second. His fastest launch clocks at 64 miles per hour, making Rosen's release and velocity on par with top-tier quarterbacks. And from 31 yards away, 3 in a row landed within a 2-foot diameter. That's smaller than the average car tire. And Rosen is such a perfectionist that from almost 100 feet away, he's less than pleased.
One more.
When he's off by only about 10 inches. Next up, pocket mobility.
The quarterback at the next level has to be able to move quickly and efficiently within the pocket and reset his platform. So we're going to test the quarterback's ability to drop back 5 steps quickly, climb up in the pocket as if there's edge rushers forcing him up. But now inside pressure forces you to go backwards, reset your platform, and make a completion to a short route.
This test is a great showcase for Rosen's footwork. When he begins his backward shuffle, his right shoulder stays down, ready to load. Each plant of his right foot, which generates roughly 10% more force than his left, turns more downfield. And when he reaches the box, he's in position for a solid platform, with his back foot perpendicular to the target line. His load to release remains remarkably consistent at 0.41 of a second.
LTA, load to arrival.
The first thing we notice is that Darnold's arm slot can vary, ranging from 47 to 57 degrees. But a variable arm slot doesn't change his release time. From the instant his left hand breaks from the ball to release, averages 0.44 of a second. So in spite of all the talk about Darnold's throwing motion, it's actually faster than QBs like Jameis Winston and Derek Carr. And with an average ball speed of 52 miles per hour, Darnold's total time from load to arrival in the receiver's hands 31 yards away is only 1.65 seconds.
Nice!
Even on the run, Darnold's passes average 45 miles per hour. He's able to accomplish these velocities with torque that's generated with a big shoulder turn relative to his hips. This separation of shoulders and hips, roughly 65 degrees, is about the same as one of the longest hitting golfers on the planet, Rory McIlroy. And it's this power generated from flexibility that enables Darnold to pull off incredibly difficult throws. After sprinting toward the sideline at up to 15 miles per hour, as he starts to slow, Darnold's shoulder turn is so effective that he's able to throw one dart relative to his momentum at a ridiculous 80-degree angle.
Dang! Nice, Sam.
One thing that our foot sensors revealed is that Sam has incredible weight distribution. Seems like no matter how he throws the ball, he's always balanced.
With an average release velocity of almost 44 miles per hour, Falk hits his receiver with ease. But our analysis reveals one remarkable aspect of Falk's skill set, and that's his rhythm. Check out his 7-step drops. From a timing standpoint, everyone was amazingly consistent. In fact, the difference between his fastest and his slowest 7-step drop was only about 0.08 of a second. That's less time than it takes for a spiral to spin once. What makes his drop-back rhythm really insane is that in college, he had more than 2,000 pass attempts, and only 11 were from under center. In our pocket mobility test, Falk's internal rhythms contribute to another one of his skills, a knack for hitting receivers in stride. Now, passing is a series of split-second geometric calculations and recalculations. For example, to hit this receiver, moving at 12 miles per hour 8 yards away, Falk must constantly recalibrate the pass trajectory and how much to lead the receiver, all while his own vector is shifting. Falk hits this moving target each time, and in fact, maintains the exact same release time we measured in other drills, 37/100ths of a second. That consistency is rooted in Falk's rhythm, even when he's on the move. And don't dismiss the importance of these short passes. Last season, the average distance a completion traveled in the air was only about 6.5 yards. Our first test is called Firm with the Arc. Rudolph is tall, almost 6'5", and his wingspan is almost 3 inches longer than the average among this year's crop of QBs entering the draft. Combine that length with an arm angle at release of a nearly vertical 86 degrees, and you can get a release point that can top 8 feet above the turf. That's on par with Big Ben Roethlisberger. Like Rudolph, Allen has no difficulty clearing the barrier and hitting his target, even with a 48-mile-per-hour release velocity.
Nice. LTA, load to arrival.
Both Allen and Rudolph demonstrate fast load and release times. Allen's takes only 37/100ths of a second. That's 3/100ths of a second quicker than the NFL average. That might not sound like much, but split seconds count. In 3/100ths of a second, a defender closing at 20 miles per hour covers a foot, more than the length of a football. Jackson has tremendous lateral quickness,
Jackson dancing into the end zone,
as well as a blazing fast top gear, which we clocked at more than 21 miles per hour.
Lamar Jackson is going to take it to the house.
Here's an example of what that breakaway speed means. In this game against Wake Forest, a linebacker gets within a foot of him. But within 3 seconds, Jackson has pulled away by a full 5 yards.
There he goes.
I really like Jackson's mobility in the pocket. In this play against North Carolina, he climbs back into the pocket exactly the way we test our other draft prospects. After resetting his feet, Jackson rips a ball that travels 50 yards in the air and hits his receiver in stride.
Oh my goodness, what a pass!
He makes it look so routine.
Touchdown, Lamar Jackson. Mayfield zips one. Mayfield in a tight window. Touchdown.
Like Jackson, Baker Mayfield can get the ball out in a hurry. For example, on this pass to the corner of the end zone, from snap to release takes Mayfield only 1.56 seconds.
Mayfield floats it. Touchdown.
Last season, Blaine Gabbert, QB who on average had to get off the pass the quickest, had only 2.4 seconds.
Some people see Mayfield's height as a potential issue, and he's gonna have to be able to deliver the ball with pace over the first line of defenders. We tested that skill with all of our quarterbacks before the draft in a test we call Firm with an Arc. And Mayfield proves time and again
Mayfield to throw.
that he's got all those throws.
And a touchdown.
Mayfield has extremely active feet in the pocket. In this play, as he goes through his progressions, he repositions his feet half a dozen times in only 2.3 seconds. And even without a solid foundation, Mayfield can make accurate throws, scrambling left or right. Here, to hurry his throw, Mayfield's kinetic linking breaks down, and his awkward footwork actually takes him sideways. But he gets off the pass in only 3/10ths of a second, as fast as the quickest releases of Aaron Rodgers. Mayfield hits his moving target perfectly in stride.